What's going on, YouTubers? Elmo Gonzalez here with G Sports and Entertainment. In front of me we have Jeremy Mitchell, sponsored player. Today we're going to talk about some of the questions that you guys have asked throughout his Pendulum deck profiles and do a simple combo tutorial. Just because, you know, as throughout a Yu-Gi-Oh season, decks can be changed via 1 to 3 cards depending on the type of meta as well as what you think will happen at certain tournaments. Today Jeremy's going to talk about, you know, certain combos that he has with maybe certain cards in his hand via certain situations that he might face via certain deck types. So here is Jeremy talking about his Pendulum deck.
Yeah, so pretty much if you're a Pendulum player, you basically know what I'm talking about when I say stuff like, you know, there's a lot of hand traps in the game that hurt you. Or I wouldn't say a lot, but just like, you know, Ogre and Ash and stuff like that. So every time I play the deck, every time I open up my 5-card hand, I try to think of the best ways to avoid a hand trap to let, you know, like if my opponent has. So what I'm going to do right now, I basically just took out 5 cards, and I've also had a lot of people ask me about Time Star Magician. How does that really work? And like some people don't play it, they don't think it's that great. But I've always played Time Star, and I'm going to show you a simple combo real quick that I do with the cards. So do you want it this way or this way? Okay. So basically, this is a simple hand with no extenders. So what I'm going to do first, it's pretty tough backwards, but I'm going to...
You can flip it.
Flip it this way?
Yeah, everybody should be able to see it.
Okay. So I can do it this way, the regular way?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what I usually do first, I use Wisdom Eye, go on Oath Dragon. A lot of people will automatically just add this back for some reason, and that's not what I do. I always wait for Oath Dragon. I don't do it automatically. So at this point, I just Pendulum summon everything. And then, because I already know what I'm going to do. So this is just going to summon any level 4. So I'm going to summon Purple Poison. Then what I usually do is, since this one's going to get banished if it leaves the field, so I'm going to go into Electromite with these. Alright, then I'm going to send Chronograph. Or it really depends, because Chronograph is just the card the card that's going to special out. Yes, what's going to special out for you. So at that point, I activate Oath Dragon's effect now, because now I'm going to add back. I can add back any of these level 4s you want, but I mean, I guess I just add back Harmonizing, because you never know what's going to happen next turn, and you need a Wisdom Eye to add back with Oath. So I add Harmonizing back. Now I normal summon, then I go into Time Star. This is before I use my Electromite effect to pop, because I want to utilize, there are times when I want to utilize Black Fang, because you can get the card whatever you detach with Black Fang. So, but basically all I'm trying to do here is just show you how great Time Star is, because he can get you anything. So he literally adds you Jackal. So you detach and you add Jackal King to your hand. Alright, and now that you have that, you're pretty much set now. And then you activate Electromite effect, target Black Fang, and then you add Chronograph to your hand. At this point, you just Chain Link 1, and you make Black Fang Chain Link 2 as well. That way they can't ash you, because they can ash you, because this isn't mandatory, so they can ash your draw or whatever. But you
What
can
isn't mandatory?
The Electromite. This isn't mandatory to summon, to activate his effect when a card is destroyed.
Yeah, that's Purple Poison.
No, that's Chronograph.
Chronograph, okay.
Yeah. So, so you want to always activate this, because you always have a target in your grave. The Black, that way you chain block, so you don't want them to ash this. And then after this Chain Link 2, you make this Chain Link 3 to special summon the Chronograph Sorcerer and the Mythical Beast Jackal. And then Electromite effect will draw you a card. So the whole point now this is why I think I messed up, because basically you just want to have this here. So whenever I first Pendulum summon, let's put this in here, because you can easily, like, you could be okay with this. That means you have 2 Jackals. But what I would have done, I would have just had, put this here. That way it's not blocking my extra deck spot. and I can just make a Naruto. So now you end with Naruto, Apex, and Jackal King. And what's so great about Time Star that he protects your Jackal King from like afterburner or anything that will try to get rid of it by destruction or battle, by sending another magician or a dark, what is it? Oh no, any spellcaster from deck to grave. So what I usually do, I usually just send Cerberus, because everybody knows, like, I hate, or any Pendulum player knows, they hate drawing this card after turn 0. So I usually just send this with Time Star. That way I can lower my chances of not seeing it. But yeah, that's just a simple way that Time Star works. So yeah, I like it. I'll show you another combo real quick with the deck. And just show you ways of how to avoid hand traps or how to play around hand traps. So I'll just pick out some certain cards, then maybe I'll just later on I'll just show you. I'll do random test hands or whatever. But this is a hand I'm just gonna show you where give me like any kind of, okay, something like this. So if you see a hand like this, right, the first thing you're gonna do is dragon. You see it? Okay. First thing you want to do is you want to play Dragon Shrine. If you see a hand something like this. Only reason I'm showing you it, and you activate this, search, get Supreme King Gate. Now, here's how you play around hand traps. A lot of people, since they have a Chronograph in here, they're going to use that to get out Time Gazer. I don't do that, because if you get ogred, then you have no play, or then like your play is going to be really bad. Now, of course, like you have double Wisdom Eye, it's not going to be that terrible, but in cases like you have like another, like, I don't know, purple, not purple, it's like Black Fang or whatever, you know, it's not going to be that great. But to play around Ghost Ogre, I usually just normal summon this, because there's no point of using this effect, because this is what saves you from Ghost Ogre. So let's say I go into Electromite, and it gets Ogre, right? So I basically send, at this point, since I can't really, I mean, I can send Jackal. You know, you could do that. I'll just send Jackal. I usually don't. I usually send the Cerberus because I don't want to draw it. It's that bad. But I'll just send Jackal this time. But after that, that's why I save Chronograph, because if it goes over, after it resolves, you play Chronograph and you summon this plus this. Now you go into Wee Witch, which is what I play. It could be the Lanfariscus, whatever it's called, that card. But basically, what all that does, that way you save yourself from being so hurt by Electromite. Because Electromite will still, even if you didn't open up the Harmonizing, you can still send the Harmonizing with Electromite once it's ogred. But you still have 2 links without wasting your pin summon to get it. So now, you know, basically, now you have full scales to go into anything you need. Old Dragon, I would Old Dragon add back the Harmonizing, then Wisdom Eye into a, you know, Black Fang or any high scale that you want, preferably Black Fang. At this point now, and what I usually do when I play Yu-Gi-Oh, especially this deck, I try to think of it as a numbers game. So if my opponent already used like a Ghost Ogre, he's already minus 1 card. So what I would do, I would probably just do this and Harmonizing from my hand, and you know, with this I would summon the Janky Magician, because I'm gonna try to take another card out of his hand. So I'm gonna go into this card, and then go into Absolute. Then I would always do this first to link up into this, and wherever my Vortex is. Where is it? Yeah, right here. And then now I would go into Omega to take a card out of my opponent's hand. Find it, yeah. Because if you're playing against Thunder Dragons or something like that, you want to have a negate in case you banish something that they'll try to activate. So at this point, like, I know it doesn't seem that great, but you got to think your opponent now has 3 cards in their hand, and they draw for turn and they have 4. And just this, and then remember, if they get rid of this by battle or card effect, you can add any monster back from your graveyard to your hand. So, and Omega always comes back. So I'm telling you, like, just this by itself, you gotta think of it as really good against pretty much any deck. Unless they just open up really insane, and there's not much you can do about it. But the point is, though, you want to think of Yu-Gi-Oh as a numbers game when you play this deck, or I think any deck. Or at least that's just how I do it. So I mean, you could have made any level 4. Like, if you know you're playing as Goki, you know, the Harmonizing and the Wisdom Eye could have been like a Dweller or something, anything like that. But if you're just going in blind game 1, something like that in the Ogre do. That's just a way that you can play around Ogre and stuff like that. And that comes up so many times. So yeah, I would recommend just trying it out like that, and you should have some better results. Did you want me to do any more promo video?